Today we have Jane Mote from UKTV here. Thanks a lot, Jane, for doing another interview with me at Banff. So, Jane, could you tell me what's happening, what's the cool stuff happening in your group?
Well, UKTV has just gone from strength to strength since we last talked, I'm happy to say. We've got 9 TV channels. I've now taken on the Factual portfolio as well as the lifestyle, and we're fully integrating all of our new media operations into our channel team. So our new media will be part of the channel brand. So rather than having channel heads, we sort of think we'll have brand heads who manage that product on any platform that it transpires on. So obviously we've led the way with food, but we're working across all of our brands now, including our newly launched Days channel.
Yeah, can you shed some light on it? It's just such an interesting story the CEO David just talked about. Tell us about it.
Dave is a fantastic marketing coup, and it shows the power of the brand. And I think David Abraham, our CEO, has been very clever in recognising that TV perhaps hasn't been best at branding itself. It's been quite archaic about the way that it's gone about things. So previously the channel was called UKTV G2, already a mouthful, and it's a brand extension of our channel UKTV Gold. It had fantastic content on it, top BBC content, good origination, but it wasn't cutting through. So a lot of research was done, and it was decided to launch a channel called Days, which I don't think has been done anywhere in the world.
No, yeah. And the channel 3 or 4 or 7 or whatever.
That's right. We just have, ITV 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't really have much personality.
Right. No.
So Dave was launched, and overnight with the same schedule, we went 40 to 60% up in pay homes with the same schedule. Obviously, we went free to air, and that expanded the channel beyond all recognition. But it's fascinating because my niece watches the channel. She's 17, and I went around to see her at her house, and she had Dave on. Her younger sister was watching it, and I'm saying, why are you watching this channel? She said, oh, it's QuizCon month, it's fantastic. My mum wants it to end so that I can go back to school with schoolwork. And so she understood it was QuizCon month, first of all. Then I said to her, did you watch it before? And she looked at me in horror. I said, there wasn't a channel before Dave.
Oh.
So all of her friends were complete Dave addicts, and they were really proud to say they watched it. No.
But they have no idea that
there was one. So she said, well, I don't know. She was quite annoyed that I'd suggest there was anything before Dave. So I said to her, well, actually it was called UKTV G2. She went, oh, that was just an add-on. This is a 17-year-old getting it, and that's the power of a brand. And I think it's a real lesson for the industry. And in the UK, this transformation of the channel has won so many awards and is continuing to win awards. Literally last night we won another marketing award. And I think David Abraham's brought this fresh thinking into the company. We've got some of the best content in the world, and we've got unique access to it. Plus we're commissioning some of the best content in the world. We're a very nimble and flexible company. We're not too big, but we've got 33 million people following what we do every month. So we've got a real opportunity here to push our brand much harder and to make the connection much stronger.
Right. And what are some of the cool contents you have in the different channels? Can you talk a little bit?
Well, obviously food is still one of our core channels, and that has been doing extraordinarily well, and we took a bold decision to actually relaunch the daily food show, which is quite a high-risk strategy. And we make Market Kitchen with Optimum, who are the makers of the F Word and all the Ramsay programs. And we have a great time with that show, and it's become much more entertainment focused. So food is about loving life, and it's about having fun. It's not just about chop and chat. So that's worked really well for us.
The daily show that you're talking about, can you tell me a little bit more?
Well, we're set it in a cafe-style environment. We have a number of chefs who lead the show, but we have really top chefs coming in, Michelin star chefs, to appear on the show, and we have an audience that we invite through the web, and they sit as they would sit in a cafe, and they taste the food.
Oh, really?
And they're part of the show, so they actually give us their comments on the food as it goes along, and then at the end they tell us what the experience has been like. We make it very democratic for you to be able to come on to the show and be part of it.
So very interactive, and those food were prepared by those Michelin chefs on the show. Wow, that's really cool.
And it also has a very fresh market appeal, so it's about seasonal food, quality food. So we also cook in the market. We go to Borough Market in London, which is one of the top markets in the world, and it celebrates great British food. So we go and we cook in the market as well with our chefs.
So is that kind of the set, or you actually go into different markets?
No, we actually just create a mini little environment wherever we go. And talking of which, you know, we're trying to build brands. So last year we've done Roads Across India, which was timed with the Indian partition anniversary. This year we have Roads Across China.
Oh, really?
So Gary Rhodes has been in China, and Mote have actually ad-funded the content. And we use
the soy sauce, Mote?
Yeah. And we use the internet again to recruit some sous chefs to go out and be Gary's scouts. And we've got a Mandarin speaker who's a Yorkshire girl who loves food. And we also got a highly qualified Chinese barrister who really didn't know much about her home country. And they've both gone out there and they explored China. And then Gary works with the top chefs in China. And they will create a big feast at the end from what they've learned for the Chinese community back in London. And that's a great format, so we're hoping to do more roads across. Authentic cooking, but again an interactive element. Which is important.
And it's also kind of exploring the region a little bit too, right?
Totally.
It's kind of, if I read it right, is it like the antique roadshow? I mean, they are into different cities every show, but then in the beginning they talked about where they are a little bit and kind of a setup.
Celebrating the skills and the expertise of local food in different countries, because we believe in celebrating that skills base and using proper ingredients. So it's very focused on that. It's not showy at all. So Gary goes into the markets and he discovers quite a lot in China. He genuinely has never been there. He's never cooked Chinese food, and it was the same in India. So you get that real genuine discovery. And then when he works with the top chef, they respect each other, and they get to a point where they start to argue a bit about, well, isn't this how you do it? Isn't that how I do it? So that's quite good fun. In lifestyle style, we still very much focus on home content. We've just had Ty Pennington over to England, who's from Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and he's done a big makeover of a community in Cornwall. And it's a very personal production involving him. He's deeply involved in the production, and that's going to be a big hitter for us. And in addition to that, we've got brands like Fantasy Homes by the Sea, and we just ordered 30 more of them, and we're going to be doing Fantasy Homes in the City, Fantasy Homes Down Under, Celebrity Fantasy Homes, so really stretching the brand and making the most of it.
Right. So are we going to see one huge fantasy home per episode, or are we going to see more than one?
Well, we take couples to look for their fantasy. So they go and visit several homes.
Locations.
And they also have their millionaire's moment, where they go and look at homes that they could never afford, and it gives a nosiness that the viewers are very curious about. Also, we have the property crunch happening at the moment, so people are quite concerned that buying property is a bit more scary now in the UK, like the US market. Less so in Canada, because Canada's booming.
Still, there's a little bit. It's the buyer market.
So exactly, but in the UK, people are getting nervous. So we're looking at homes from the perspective of a homemaker. So your home is your nest, not your nest egg. And we're launching a new show this autumn called Love the Place You're In. So it's saying don't move, improve, look at the beautiful house you're in, let's do something with it. So if your circumstances have changed, you're going to work from home, we help you to do a work-life station in your home. Or you've got children, they need a den, let's look at that. And we've actually got the British actress Zoe Lucker who's fronting it, and she's heavily pregnant and she's nesting big time, and she's creating her own new home. So it's a very personal journey for her, and then we get experts helping with every aspect of it, and a psychologist looking at why people feel how they feel about their own home. So we're going very rootsy with our homes content.
Right, cool. Now going back to the branding now. So with the success of Dave, are there plans of changing food or the other documentary channel, rebranding them, and like what's any tips of things to come?
Obviously, with the success of Dave, we're really interested in looking across how our brands are working, which brands are very strong for us, which ones are maybe a bit weaker for us, and we'll be looking at that, all of that across all of our genre over the years to come. You know, we don't just start in one place and say that's it. There are lessons to be learned. Right. But as David said this morning, we're not about to have a Jane channel in food or a Jamie channel or something like that. You know, we've done that. It's been successful. We don't want to mimic ourselves.
Right, right.
So we'll look at branding lessons and look at where we can strengthen our brand, and we continue to innovate in that area.
Great. Thanks a lot, Jane.
Thank you.